Hey everyone, it's me Doomlink and welcome to an update video for my channel. It is the 19th of March 2020 as I'm recording this, and I do have a number of things that I would like to discuss. I'm going to try and have it clear and concise and not have it be rambling. That's pretty much my objective when I am recording these update videos these days, because in the past I have done some pretty long update videos that literally no one is going to listen to, not even me, to be honest. So, or maybe I will, but in the future. Point being that I would like to keep these nice and short, so I will go ahead and do that. Now, to get straight in with a somewhat negative topic, it's not entirely negative, but it's not great either. I am becoming quite disillusioned with the whole live stream Let's Play thing. I wasn't entirely into it in the beginning, because obviously I do have a preference for a more traditional style of recording. It's the style of recording that I'm currently doing for Castlevania Portrait of Ruin, and Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles The Crystal Bearers. But I'm thinking of cutting out all livestream Let's Plays entirely, except for Breath of the Wild. The reason why Breath of the Wild is going to stay there is because literally I cannot bring myself to sit down and play that game unless it's live. So that, again, I've mentioned this before. In fact, I mentioned it in the last recording that I did for Breath of the Wild. Can't remember what part that is, sorry. But I said that literally, the live stream Let's Play idea started with Breath of the Wild because I wasn't going to play it any other way. And I think it's fitting that that remains the only live stream Let's Play that I do on the channel. So that's definitely going to happen, but in terms of all the other games, like, for example, Zelda was going to be a series that would always be a live stream Let's Play sort of situation, which was what I had decided. And of course the reason why was because there is no discoverability for Zelda videos. I discussed this in my last update video, not deeply, but enough to make it kind of redundant if I re-explain it now. But of course, I'm putting aside that lack of discoverability at this point, and just saying, I don't give a shit. I'm not happy with the result of my live stream Let's Plays. When it comes to Let's Plays, I want to have control over the finished product, and I have a lot less control when it comes to live stream videos. I actually have to just sit there and let it do what it needs to do. I cannot edit it after the fact. I sort of can, but I can't as well. You know, you either have a live stream or you don't. It becomes a little bit pointless if I go in and start editing it and then producing it again, and then, because this is the problem, the editing process, the exporting it out of the editing software, like those two things right there are usually skipped in the live streaming process. So if I'm not going to skip that, I'd rather not go live at all, to be honest. So what I've decided is that I'm not necessarily going to abstain from being on the webcam for Let's Plays such as Phantom Hourglass, because there is a black space in the actual setup of the screens that is pretty much begging to have something there, you know. So I'm happy to be physically there for you guys when I'm recording. Not all the time, because it's not always ideal for me to be on camera due to lighting conditions, and maybe I'm not photogenic that day, it happens. But for the most part, I will try to be on camera in the Let's Play of Phantom Hourglass as it continues in a non-live format. But more than anything else, I just don't feel that it's going to work to continue going live. It's probably going to work perfectly fine for you guys. I'm not really concerned about that. The quality of the product is not so low that you guys are not going to watch it. It's more that it doesn't feel right for me, and even though I was kind of not sure if it was something that I wanted to do when I first started doing it, I was open to it, and I actually felt that there was a really good chance that it would be perfectly fine, that I would still enjoy it. But I don't enjoy it, because again, there's that lack of control. If I need to look at something online, I can't edit that out. If something weird happens, I can't edit that out. In other words, like if I waste your guys' time doing something that I didn't need to do. For example, in my recent Majora's Mask Let's Play video that I did, I think it was part 8, that's right, I was about to say I can't remember what part it is. It is part 8. It was when I was journeying to Snowhead. I spent the first 25 minutes of that recording just going around collecting rupees by returning to the first day and going to that chest with 100 rupees in it, giving them to the beggar when I didn't even need to do that. Now, if it were a regular Let's Play recording, I could just edit that out or speed it up, either or. But because it was live, that has to stay there. And it wasn't necessarily completely uninteresting when I was recording at that time, because it was live. I was interacting with an audience of sorts. I had a single person in the Twitch chat. Whoop-de-doo, what an audience, right? But that's kind of what it's like when I'm live streaming. I prefer a smaller audience than a big audience anyway, so I don't really know what I'm trying to say. But the point is that, you know, it's not terrible that I was spending the time doing that, but again, I would prefer to not have that in there. I want my Let's Plays to be a little bit more controlled, a little bit more precise, and I want my live streams to be separate to that. I thought that it would be okay to do a mishmash of those two things, amalgamate them, the live and the Let's Play, but I don't think it's going to work for me. In fact, I know it's not going to work for me, and until further notice, I'm going to stop doing live Let's Plays, apart from Breath of the Wild for reasons I've already explained. Now, the recording that triggered this frame of mind that I'm in right now regarding live Let's Plays was the recording that I did of Phantom Hourglass yesterday. It was Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass Part 20, if you would like to see it. It's not terrible, but I was really frustrated that I was in this position where I had identified that the colours of the game in the recording were just not good enough. And this has to do with my capture card, I suppose. Like, the neutral colours are just completely off, and no matter what I do, it doesn't fix it. So I actually need to go into specific color options and boost reds and drop greens and things like that. So not only am I not able to do that while live because I don't have those options within OBS, but it's also the fact that I was trying to do that while live and ruining the flow of everything. And what it was that really frustrated me at that moment was not the fact that I was having to deal with this issue, because you deal with issues when you're recording, that's normal. It's just the lack of control that really got to me at that moment. I was sitting there with video that didn't look good, and I had no choice but to ruin the flow of the video in terms of what I was doing, you know, like I'm in the middle of sailing on the sea or something. I should be focusing on the game, but instead I'm in OBS live trying to make all of these adjustments, and I was audio only as well, so it makes it even worse. I can't, you know, some people can be entertained just by looking at a person on the screen. There's like a certain human connection there, it holds their attention, but if it's audio only, there's a lot less attention to be held there, so, or it's a lot more difficult to hold the attention. So, this is the problem that I was in at that moment. I felt like I had no control over the actual end result of my recording. No matter what, it was going to suck, by my standards. And that's pretty much the important point to make here. By my standards, the live Let's Plays are just not up to snuff. Now, this is one thing to keep in mind. I still do a lot of stuff live. I have my Demon Souls livestream series. I have my Dark Souls livestream series, which I'm going to talk about soon, because that's actually getting a reboot. I think I've done 2 recordings of that. Again, reboot. We're not keeping the 2 that are currently on my channel. I think they will be deleted, in fact. They're not necessarily bad in the sense that I was playing bad, or in the sense that I was doing a bad commentary. It's just they looked bad, but we'll get to that again later. So I've got those 2 Souls livestream series. I've got my various livestream playthrough series that I'm recording. I am constantly recording live, and I enjoy doing it. But the problem is that there needs to be 2 different sides to the channel, the Let's Play side and the live side. And they do still exist now, but not well enough. I am doing Castlevania Portrait of Ruin and Crystal Bearers in that format, the traditional Let's Play format, but I need to start doing all of the Let's Plays that way again. I mean, I'm sort of repeating myself at this point, but again, it's not up to my personal standards, and I'm just going to feel better, even without the additional discoverability of going live. It's not the discoverability after the fact that I'm looking for, because that's going to be shit no matter what. I'm looking at least for good discoverability while I am recording, but I think we're just going to have to leave that alone. It's not good enough for me, and I don't even care if I get no views on the videos. I at least want a product that I'm happy with. And again, that's not what's happening at the moment, so what do we need to do? We need to make some changes. I apologize for sort of going over and over and over with the same points, but I'm trying to hit them home, you know. I'm trying to make it clear that this is my issue. And starting pretty much today, you're not going to be seeing any more live Let's Plays of mine, except for Breath of the Wild, so yeah. I apologize if that's something on my channel that is moving in a direction that you don't want it to move in, but it's just going to have to be that way for me. As I said before, I still do a lot of live streaming, so if you're only interested in seeing me live and that's it, you will still have that. And we'll talk about that soon, just generally. But first and foremost, I want to talk about Dark Souls, because I did mention it briefly there. Why am I doing a reboot, Doomlink? Well, as I briefly mentioned as well, it doesn't look good. I started that live stream series 12 months to the day of me starting the Demon Souls live stream series. All well and good, except the lighting conditions were terrible. And to be honest, even the second video was not great in terms of the lighting. Compared to the first video, it looked great. You could actually see me properly in the second video. But it still was not up to my standard. And my standard isn't necessarily that high. We need to understand that I really don't set super high standards for myself. But they're strict enough that I'm not going to sit there and say, hey, it's okay for me to look super dark. It's not okay, actually. Because I find it to be bothersome. It doesn't need to be that way. I need to select a good day to record, a day when I'm not going to look super dark on screen, and we need to do that. Again, because I had decided to record on that specific day, 12 months to the day of having started my Demon Souls livestream series, I did not have control over the weather that day. I did not have control over the fact that there would be no natural lighting to illuminate my face. But that's still not an excuse for the fact that the first video in this livestream series that is intended to be a long-running, staple livestream series on my channel looks like complete shit because you can't even see me in the webcam. It's not alright. And it's really important for the first video in any playlist or in any series that you do to be good, because a lot of people will start with that, and if it sucks, or if it looks bad, or if it's not up to the standard of the viewer on an entertainment level, they're not going to continue watching, obviously. So it's very important that the first video is good. And I realized that while I'm 2 videos in, rather than just trying to ignore it, push it to the back of my mind, and then look back at that in 2 years when I've done maybe 40 to 50 recordings of Dark Souls and go, oh my god, I can't believe the first 2 videos look so bad, it's better to just start it again now, so that I don't have to worry about that, if you understand. So that's currently my objective with Dark Souls. I don't know when I will re-record that. It will happen eventually. But for now, I need to try and get my head together with the Let's Playing situation, which I have just finished discussing. And once we're done with that, we will go ahead with doing a reboot on the Dark Souls livestream series. I'm going to try and not talk about it so much in that first video. It's not that I'm afraid to say that this is a reboot, it's just I don't want to focus on that so much. I just want to have it be a normal recording, so that it's not some overpowering fact that it's a re-recording, you know. I can mention it briefly, and then we're going to leave it alone. It's going to be annoying because people in the chat will go, oh, why does it say part 1? It's like, well, fuck, anyway. Long story short, what people do talk about in the chat can oftentimes dictate the conversation that's had in the live stream, but again, I'm going to try and keep it to a minimum. Now, again, on the subject of live streams, I was originally going to not be in the country when I was originally planning on recording my live stream playthrough of Monster Hunter 3 Try, which is supposed to happen in April, pretty much. So in the next 2 weeks or so, I will be recording that, but yeah, the situation has actually changed because I wasn't going to be recording that on that day because I wasn't going to be in the country. But again, at the moment there is this whole coronavirus bullshit, and so a lot of things have been pushed back, a lot of changes have had to have been made in my life, so I am going to be well and truly in the country, needless to say, once April rolls around, and I will be recording Monster Hunter 3 Try on schedule. There was one video that I recorded, which was my latest Castlevania Let's Play video, where I did mention that, But again, I should have addressed that in the comments section anyway, so there shouldn't be too much confusion about that. I was addressing the fact that I was planning on being away, but again, that's not going to be happening for obvious reasons. Now, Monster Hunter 3 Try should be a pretty quick livestream playthrough to get through. One thing that I'm constantly talking about is my plans for livestream playthrough recordings. The reason why I'm always talking about that is because it takes a while to get one game done, because I'm doing one game at a time, and it's only one of many series that I'm doing on my channel. So therefore, if I have 3 games in mind for that series, it's going to take a while to get to the third one, or even the second one. So yeah, Monster Hunter 3 Try has been on the cards for a while. I pushed forward to get Ocarina of Time done as soon as possible, because I was expecting to need to record 3 Try much earlier on, because I was going to record it earlier instead of later. I didn't want to miss the 10th anniversary, so I thought it would be better to just do it earlier on. But again, it's not necessary for me to do that now because I will be in the country, so as mentioned before, it will be on schedule. But with Ocarina of Time finished, I was thinking of maybe, you know, slotting in something really short, like Pokemon Snap on the Nintendo 64, but I just don't really have the money to go buying games at the moment. It's not like Pokemon Snap is super expensive or anything, it's just, you know, I want to be smart with my money these days, so I'm not going to get Pokemon Snap just to record it in between Ocarina of Time and Monster Hunter 3 Try. I should have plenty of stuff to entertain myself and entertain you guys between now and when I'm going to start recording Monster Hunter 3 Try, the live stream playthrough. So yeah, we're going to not do Pokemon Snap. Pokemon Snap might still be a thing that I record for the live stream playthrough series just as a joke. It's not a great game, but I do think it's entertaining to a point. So I will record a little bit of that, I just don't know when, because I was able to work out where it would fit in the sequence now, but if I'm actually not going to get Pokemon Snap, and I'm just going to do everything according to the schedule that I have set for myself now, I don't know where Pokemon Snap is going to fit into that. So it's probably not going to fit into that, long story short. It's probably going to be pushed back way, way back. Let's say back a few more times. But anyway, after Monster Hunter 3 Try, I will record Twilight Princess HD. That's going to be good fun. I haven't tried the HD version yet. And then after Twilight Princess HD, I think I'm going to do Monster Hunter 1 on PS2. You would think that it would be better to do 2 Monster Hunter games back to back, but I don't think that that's a good way to approach it. I think it would be better for me to give myself a Monster Hunter rest, or a rest from Monster Hunter would be a better way to put that. And I would do some Twilight Princess HD. I've got no idea how many recordings that will require. I'd like to do some long recordings again, much like I was doing for the GameCube livestream playthrough of The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. But yeah, I still don't know how many videos it's going to take. If it's going to be lots of long recordings, maybe between 6 and 8, maybe 10. If I'm not doing long recordings, for whatever reason, it could be something like the Ocarina of Time series, which I think took 18 recordings, so yeah, it really depends. We'll see what ends up happening. Again, I think it will be Monster Hunter 1 after Twilight Princess HD, or it could be something else. If I'm not in the mood to record Monster Hunter 1, once Twilight Princess HD is done, I might end up doing something like Castlevania Legacy of Darkness, because that's on the cards. And I also want to do livestream playthroughs of Lament of Innocence and Curse of Darkness as well, from Castlevania, the 3D PS2 Castlevania games. So, I don't know when that's going to happen, but we will see. On the subject of Castlevania and live streams, I'm thinking of also doing a Castlevania live stream series, but it's going to be a little bit different to, you know, say the live stream playthrough with those Castlevania games. It's instead going to be focused on replays of single games. So for example, if I do a Let's Play of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which I have done, I completed that in like 2016 or something, I can actually do a live stream series and record some runs with Symphony of the Night. And I can basically have the Let's Play be the main official run, and then in the live stream series, it would just be repeats of the game. And I'm thinking of doing that for Portrait of Ruin as well, like if I want to do some Stellar runs, or if I want to do Axe Armor or Richter runs, that's something for the Castlevania livestream series. That's what I'm thinking of doing. Like, I'm not going to have playthroughs, much like you would have with Curse of Darkness or even Legacy of Darkness, those sorts of games. I'm not going to be doing playthroughs, in that live stream series is going to be specifically what I was describing before. So let's say, for example, I do a Let's Play of Dawn of Sorrow, but then I want to do Dawn of Sorrow playing as Yoko, or I want to play as, whatever his name was. Julius Belmont, that's right. So if I want to play as Julius, I'll just do that in the live stream series, you see. So the main run will be the Let's Play, and then the repeat will be the live stream series. I think I made it pretty clear before, but in case you didn't get it, I've made it blindingly obvious now. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about, I think. All I really want to say is that Let's Plays are still a big focus of mine on my channel. I'm doing a lot of them, admittedly. I've got Castlevania Portrait of Ruin, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles The Crystal Bearers. I've got Majora's Mask, Phantom Hourglass, and Breath of the Wild, all going at the same time. Of course, Skyward Sword was put on hold, and I never did actually make an update video for that, because I didn't really have enough to talk about to justify that being a video on its own. But yeah, I guess I may as well talk about that. Skyward Sword is on hold pretty much indefinitely. I don't know when I will take that off, but of course the reason why, and I'd like to think it's a pretty good reason, is because there are too many games that I want to play. And the vast majority of those games are games that I enjoy playing. I do not enjoy playing Skyward Sword at all. I strongly dislike it. And for that, well, not strongly dislike it, but I strongly dislike the process of playing it. I think that if I were in the right environment, in the right mental headspace, I would be able to not actually hate playing Skyward Sword. I wouldn't enjoy it. I wouldn't go that far, but I would probably feel neutral to it in the right scenario. But having to stand up and record for 40 minutes or so live in that game is not a way to enjoy it for me. And quite frankly, like, that recording process is kind of uncomfortable. It takes a bit of effort as well. And having to stand up the whole time is not as enjoyable as, say, sitting down. But more than that, the game fucking sucks, okay? I don't want to play it. So that's the situation with Skyward Sword. I do not know when I will continue that, but it's going to be a sad time when I do continue it, because I'm not going to enjoy it then either. It's just going to be a matter of me feeling that I've had enough of a break and I'm ready to continue suffering. That's pretty much what's going to be happening with Skyward Sword. So yeah, that's your official update regarding Skyward Sword. Majora's Mask was the Let's Play that was meant to replace that, because I was thinking in my head, God, I really want to record some Majora's Mask. Oh, but I'm doing too many Zelda Let's Plays. Hold on, let's just cancel the fucking Skyward Sword Let's Play, because fuck that game. Let's play some Majora's Mask instead. Now, how do I feel about Majora's Mask being marred by the fact that I've been doing live stream Let's Plays? Well, again, they're not so bad that I feel that the Let's Play's been marred by it, but there is an element of that. Regardless, it's all going to be non-live from now on, so do expect that. In the interest of not repeating the same stuff over and over again, I will finish this update video here. Hopefully it didn't run for too long. But regardless, I should have enough stuff, like video footage from Monster Hunter Freedom Unite to encompass the entirety of this video, hopefully. And if I don't, I'll probably have to go and record something, but regardless. I do thank you all for watching, and I will see you when I'm next recording in anything that you'd like to watch, really. Because, again, usually I would do an outro like that. I'll see you next time I'm recording Zelda Phantom Hourglass. But no, I'm not recording anything specific here, so therefore, I'll see you when I next upload something you'd like to watch, pretty much. It is once again the 19th of March 2020, and I will catch you all later. Bye-bye.